Hello and welcome to this How Do I video. Today I will show you how easy it is to automate a report execution using streamed request page options in NAV 2015. At the end of this video, you'll be able to save all the request page options into the database, use them for executing, printing or exporting, and finally automate these actions. To get there, I will first show you what new CL report functions Microsoft has added in NAV 2015. Then I will show you how to run a request page and saving the given values into the database. Next, I will use the saved request page options for executing, printing and saving. And finally, I will fully automate the actions as defined per report. In NAV 2013, Microsoft has given us the ability to run a report, but also to save it as PDF, for example. Now, in NAV 2015, Microsoft has expanded the report functionality with a bunch of very interesting functions. In this video, I will not cover them all, only these last four took my interest for creating this video. Before I dive into the code, I would like to show my preparation. As a starting point, I have created a table with a couple of fields. The parameter field is a blob field and will contain the streamed request page options. In the report format field, you'll be able to define your desired output. As you can see, you can choose between Excel, PDF, Word and XML. Why HTML isn't added will get clear later in this video. In the action field, you can choose what action must be run. To make things easy, I also created two new functions to save and get the text from the parameters blob field. On top of this table, I have made a list page where we will add the new CL report functions in the next minute. Now we can jump into the code. Behind the set parameter function, we need to add some code to collect the request page options. To establish this, you need the report.runRequestPage function. As you can see, the function requires a report number and you can pass the previous saved parameters if you like. This function will give you a text string as a return with the selected parameters. Okay, I will put the right code here. As you can see, I will use my predefined functions to get the parameter, but also to save the output of this function into the database. I also created a function to get the parameters. I will save the code and run the page. First I need to set some parameters to the adjust exchange rate. When I click OK, the system will save it into the database. When I get the parameters back, you can see that the system not only saves the data item filters, but also all the fields that are presented on the request page. As the output is now saved into the database, we can use these to execute, print or export the selected report. First we shall execute. The correct function to do this is report.execute, as you might expect. This function requires a report number and some parameters as input. So my code will look like this. Now we will save it again and run the page. First I will execute the adjust exchange rate. This is a processing only report, and as you can see, the system will run the report without asking you the request page. But when you execute the customer top 10 report, the system will show you a print preview, so it is interesting to see that both actions come from the same function. Next, we will print a report. Printing a report will not show the request page either, because you have to pass the values as a parameter. The right syntax here is report.print. As you can see, NAV gives you the ability to print a report directly to a specific printer if you like. The code will look like this. In this example you won't see much, only that the system have printed the report to my default printer. The last part of this step is exporting. In NAV 2013, you can export the reports by using the Save as PDF or one of the other functions. But now in NAV 2015, Microsoft has added the save as function. This function gives you more possibilities and flexibility. As you can see, you need to pass a report number, some parameters, but also a format. This format has the following values, and as you can see, HTML isn't available. And that is why I didn't add the option in my preparation. To export to Excel, you need the following CL functions. You need the report.saveas and passing the report format Excel as a parameter. To make this function complete, I will add the other report formats. The only difference here is the report format. Let's save the code and run the page again. First I will try to export the adjust exchange rate to Excel. But when I tried to do this, I got a logical error because I tried to export a processing only report. So let's go to the next one. The customer top 10 will open a PDF, as you can see. Automating the actions is now easy. The only thing that you need to do is calling the right function record by record. To establish this, you need the following code. And as you can see, I will use the action type to call the right function. Now I can save the code and run the page for the final demo. I have prepared my demo by adding the right action type to the report. By pressing the Automate button, the system will loop through every record and run the given function. And as you can see, the system will, for example, export the customer top 10 to PDF, and an invoice to Word, and another invoice to XML. Now the time has come to wrap things up, and I will give you a summary of the steps that I followed. First, I have shown you what new report functions Microsoft has added to CL. Then, I have requested the report parameters and saved them into the database. Next, I have used these saved parameters for executing, printing and exporting. And finally, I have used all these functions to automate the actions. With the 4 steps, I have covered these topics. Microsoft has used these new functions in the new report scheduling functionality. If you would like to see how it works, you need to dive into the job queue, and especially in the job queue entries and the job queue execution. You can also find some additional information on MSDN about these new CL report functions. Thank you for watching this How Do I video. This video is part of the How Do I series from Microsoft Dynamics NAV 2015. I have created this video in collaboration with the Training Center Plataan and Microsoft. See you next time.